What's going on, YouTube and cryptocurrency family? My name is Harry, and I'm a crypto vet. Thank you for tuning back in. I got some exciting stuff to talk about today. Found some interesting stuff in the charts, stuff you definitely don't want to miss. So if you like that, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you're not already, follow me on what is this called? Twitter at XRP Veterinarian. Links for the Discord, Twitch, all the other goodies down below in the description. But let's go ahead and get started because I've got a lot to cover. Some definitely interesting things on the charts that I don't think you want to miss, especially regarding things like XRP and Ethereum and other altcoins, as well as where is Bitcoin going and where are we at right now, because we may start to actually see a move here by the time I'm done recording this video. So let's get started. Here on CoinMarketCap, we can see not much movement, a little bit on Bitcoin, 2.5%, Ethereum, 3.5%, Cardano's holding really good at some strong support here. We have Engine Coin, Theta, a bunch of things starting to make their big moves here, 20, 30%. On the 7-day, we're up in the hundreds on Engine. As far as the biggest losers right now, not much, 8.5% on this ZK swap. But what the hell am I talking about, and why do I think it's so important that I needed to make this video much earlier than I usually do? It's 8 in the morning and I haven't gone to sleep yet. I was just digging in the charts and found some stuff. One thing I saw was on Twitter, somebody was saying, I think someone more invested in stocks was like, how the hell could you buy an asset that has a weekly bearish engulfing candle? And as you can see right here, if I zoom in, we do indeed have a weekly bearish engulfing candle that is completely engulfing last week's candle. And as of right now, this candle was a drop of about 25%, roughly. Very valid point. As far as technical analysis goes, if you were to see something like this is typically saying that we are at a top, a local top. When you see it on a grand scale, like a weekly or monthly candle, definitely not the best thing to look at, right? Well, let's go ahead and go back in time. And I wanted just to show this here. So I took a picture, a screenshot of this, and tweeted it out. Yes, typically it is not a good thing. However, these are the kind of things we see in crypto. So in traditional stocks, maybe not, but crypto is a little different, a lot more volatile, and shit can go crazy real fast. So back here in 2017 in November, right before Bitcoin had a rally of about 238%, we saw a weekly bearish engulfing candle that looks very, very similar to the one we see here. Now, do I think we're going to shoot up right now another 235%? Not quite. However, I just wanted to show that point that, yes, we can see this stuff in the market, and, this is not actually the worst thing in the world, especially for Bitcoin. But let's go ahead and zoom back out again. And I also want to show that a lot of people are asking me like, hey, this bull run is about to hit the end, maybe one more pump and that's it. Again, I'm going to have to say that I disagree. If we go back to where this bull run ended in 2017, before we started a bear market let's just say to here, we had, about a full year bear market. We came up, we still didn't break the all-time high. We didn't actually break the all-time high until here. So a little bit over 3 years, let's just say till the Black Swan event with Corona, we were at 819-ish days, 812 days. If we come back to before, let's take the lowest point. Well, we'll just come back to here. This was back in January of 2015, all the way to where we hit the all-time high. This is over 1,000 days, 3 years of bull run for Bitcoin, which equated to 12,662%, right? So this bull run is not over. We are at the beginning stages of the run to the upside. I would say, even if we just did a line going from previous all-time high to previous all-time high here, let's see. We had a run up where this took at least a year of uptrend. So if we go from here to here, and we do a year of uptrend, we are, let's see, nowhere near close to that. 365 days is going to put us at November of 2021, and we are at March of 2021, right? So we still have plenty of time for a move to the upside. All right, so that, just to get those points out of the way, this is just my reasoning and why I think this is such. But let's go ahead and just dig in a little deeper. So right here, I have a thing marked. It's on July 6, 2020. And at this time, we had a very, very tight consolidation of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price ranged from about 10%, and we were from 8,725 to about 9,700, so about $1,000 difference. I bring this up because if we head over to Bitcoin dominance, we are starting to break below this 60 line. We're getting close. We're at 61.5. I think CoinMarketCap has it at 16.5%. Total market cap's at 1.5 trillion. But if we come back to here, when we break below this line, we have had most of our alt seasons, right? So keep that in mind right here. I have it marked on this chart and I have it marked on a bunch of others. So just remember that when we drop below a certain bit of Bitcoin dominance, money is flowing out of Bitcoin into altcoins. And at that point, that's when we typically see a move in the alts. All right, so heading back to Bitcoin. When we had our first pump up to around 41,000, if you watch my other videos, we made good trades. We had about 23 to 30 days going up. And then we had about 23 days going down. We had about 23 days going up, somewhere around that. So as I'm just expecting, we will probably have another 2 to 3 weeks of going down. This 2 to 3 weeks lines up with a lot of different things. One, if we go about 3 weeks down, this is getting us really close to our weekly exponential moving average. Whereas before, we didn't get close to it, but typically in a bull market, we will come down to retest it to confirm that we are still in a bull market and we'll keep moving forward. Here in the last run, we had a retest of it. Retest broke below. Once we got above it, we started our next run. So as of right now, we are not following the same fractal exactly the same, which this here is just a copy and paste as we were progressing just to see where a potential top would be. Again, we were able to time this very, very well and make some really good trades. And as of right now, we are on the decline. These drop on the first one. We had a roughly, let's see, 30%, 33%-ish. And as of right now, we have not done so as much. We've gone down 26 to almost 27%. Now, the question is, are we going to keep going lower, or is this the bounce we were looking for in a bull market? Typically, or if you compare 2017 to where we are now, 2017 had all the way up to 40% corrections during this. And on this bull market, we've had 20 to 30. We haven't quite hit 40 or 50 like was seen in the previous market. So we have to really zoom in to see what's going on in Bitcoin to actually tell whether or not we are going to be correcting lower or not. As of right now, we're kind of at a stalemate. Not sure if we're going to go up, not sure if we're going to go down. We have a lot of people wanting to push it up. We have a lot of buying pressure, but we also have a lot of sell pressure. And the sell pressure is actually depicted by a lot of resistance that we can pretty much draw in this zone here. In this zone here, we can see like resistance, support, and then again at the top of this box, the same thing. And right now, we are fighting on the bottom support of this box. A lot of people are asking like how I got this box. Well, this box is partially from where there is the VPVR, where we have a lot more traded volume, as well as Fibonacci retracement, Fibonacci extensions. You name it, I've found a way to find that somewhere in this region, this is where a lot of resistance is. So if we were to follow the last pattern that we had, that we were able to trade the breakout out, we were in this falling wedge, depicted as such, and we had a breakout. So we would expect that there would be a pump to the upside that is going to get us somewhere in this region, somewhere between 55,000 all the way up to 57,000, depending on where you draw this falling wedge to actually be. And we had this exact same thing play out over here. Let me go ahead and draw this, where we broke out, falling wedge. And if we zoom in, we can see that we were able to, and we'll just draw it to here, just to roughly show, since I am drawing this quickly here, because it was actually more along these lines. Yep. So, we had a breakout. So we were following these patterns as we go. just to kind of get to this point a little bit quicker. So right now we're expecting to go up to the upside somewhere at this point, but right now we're kind of finding some heavy sell pressure right here. So if we zoom in a little bit more, and I'm going to pull up, I think I had another Bitcoin chart just for this. Where did I put it? I think we're using this one here, and we zoom in. Nope, this one here. So I have here that same area zoomed in 3 different ways. We have the 4 hour, we have the 1 hour, and we have the 15-minute. So as of right now, we are continuing in little waves to the upside from this previous breakout, and this is good. So right now we have good buying pressure. If we draw a line from here to here, and we continue it up, you can see we came up, formed a flag, came up, formed another flag, and now we're forming a symmetrical triangle here at the top. And this is where we have to see whether or not we're going to break out. As of right now, we have been constricting, and this is on the 15-minute, I think I said 5-minute, and we are within, 1 to 2 hours of deciding whether or not to go up or down, or just extending this pattern into something different at this point. The thing that I'm not liking is that we are below key resistances right now, and this is where we're kind of running out of steam. So I still do expect that we are going to correct further. We are going to come down another 10-20% from where we are now. We'll fall back below the daily exponential moving average just like we did over here. And, let's say another 20% down. This is putting us exactly at our price target of about $37,000, $38,000, potentially wicking down all the way to the point of control of around 33, 34, or all the way down to the weekly exponential moving average of around 31, 32. And this is not what anybody wants to hear, but this is kind of good for Bitcoin because we're early in the run. We need to get these prices out of the way, get these corrections out of the way. That way we can go higher, right? If we just keep going straight up, we're going to see even more of those bearish engulfing candles that come straight back down to the bottom. Now, if you remember at the beginning, I marked an important date on the Bitcoin dominance. So this is here on July 6th, 2020. If we come over to Bitcoin and we look back at what happened, we were very tight on our trading, and about 2 weeks later, we started our run up to the upside, all the way to where we are now. Well, our Bitcoin dominance at this time was actually falling. So what was happening right here that was making all of the money flow out of Bitcoin, however, Bitcoin's price was actually going up? Well, I showed on one chart, and we'll go ahead and pull that up here. That's on the Brave New Coin Index. If we look back in March 23rd of 2020, this is when we got our first stimulus package. Back here in December, we got our second one, and then right now we're waiting to hear on when our third stimulus package in the United States will come out. Well, if we look at where July 6th was, right along this line, this was after things were starting to get better, there was good news, and money was now finally actually getting to the people, because even though the stimulus was announced here, a lot of people did not get it for many months afterwards. But there was also still a lot of fear in the market, and at this point, this is when the stock market and lots of other things started to actually explode and blow up. So bringing that back to the Bitcoin dominance, on July 6th, we started to have our decline. We dropped below this key of 61.2, whatever you want to call it, and we started to drop down. If we look over at places like XRP, it was 2 weeks later that we started to have our big pump for XRP. If we go over to Ethereum, it was 2 weeks later after Bitcoin dominance dropped that we started to actually pump up. But at the same time as Bitcoin, or as XRP, Ethereum, and all that went up, Bitcoin also went up. But the alt season had started because money was flowing into it. Now, back to this 2-week idea and concept. If we come back to where Bitcoin is now, we were saying that about every 3 weeks there's a correction and there's 3 weeks of pumpage. Well, since we started our correction, we have 3 weeks starts putting us into this box right here around March 14th. We have about a week and a half into this currently. Oops. All right, we are about 9 days into this, so we're about a week and a half. if we extend this all the way to there, that'd be a good time of correction here. We could have another drop down to the downside. But by the time we get into this zone, we will also be hitting exactly where Congress and such may be potentially passing that Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, that stimulus will be approved in the Congress and that money will be coming out. And that'd be $1.9 trillion of money injected back into the economy. Exactly like was happening before. And every time we had, let me move these out of the way. So every time we had money injected into the economy, right here, here, and here, we have seen massive run-ups, especially 2 weeks after it has occurred and the week of. So my point with all this is that I think we are going to correct lower and that this is just a relief rally to the upside. People getting a little chubbies here thinking that we're about to go to the moon again, when in fact people are just closing out their long positions at a little bit better price, switching to short positions, whatever you want to call it. And I think we're going to consolidate down here a little bit further. That first target will actually get met, which was right at around 41,000, which we didn't quite hit. When we dropped, we came up. We're going to consolidate for about 2 weeks here. As soon as we get an announcement of the stimulus, as long as it passes and things like that, I think we're going to see one hell of an altcoin season because money's already flowing into alts right now. So, and then from that point, Bitcoin will rise at the same time as alts, and we'll see our next run to the upside, potentially 75,000, 80,000. I have another video with tons of targets as well as all the stuff in the Discord. So I definitely think lots of good news coming out. You just gotta buy the fear right now and just be patient. This crash, is definitely going to shake some people out, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel. This is early in the rally. So, right now looking at Ethereum, showing the same exact thing. Lots of fear. People don't want to buy it. It's very, very risky, right? But we could be finding a nice relief bounce, but look what we have. We have the 20 daily exponential moving average right above us. If we move over to XRP and we go to the 4 hourly, we are in the same boat. We are below the 20 daily exponential moving average, a little bit above the weekly, but we are on this uptrend potentially to come up, but I don't think this will be very much oomph in a sense, right? So right now I would say most likely going to be in shorts here, and I'll go over a lot of that in my Twitch here whenever I'm streaming again, as long as I can get my internet working well. But overall, I think once we drop below this, we are going to see a good section of little bitty alt season, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, specifically starting in about 1 to 2 weeks. Could be completely wrong, but just the fact that a lot of these dates are lining up and such, I just definitely expect that we're going to see some big movements after we have a correction. So, not financial advice. I'm just a doctor/idiot, but I would definitely start getting my limit buy orders ready, close my longs if you're still in any, take some profits. Profits are good. And, kind of see where things go from there. So sorry this video was a little bit longer. Just definitely wanted to go over that. And I was starting to run out of steam the longer I stay awake. But definitely wanted to make sure I got a video out today. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.